There's people earning thousands of dollars every year with this technique. And no, you don't need a lot of money to do it, nor any special knowledge. Because if you want a passive income for your whole life, you just need some patience to develop your own dividend portfolio. And once this is done, it gets automatic. And if you start now with as little as $10 per day, in 5 years you will be earning $1,000 per year, and it will continue to exponentially grow while you're on your couch. And so in this video, I'm gonna show you what dividend stocks are, which are the benefits, how you can identify them, and how you can start creating your own portfolio and make $1,000 per month with that. So what are dividend stocks? So basically, they are shares of companies which distribute part of their profits to their shareholders. For example, imagine that you have a lemonade stand and you ask a friend of yours to lend you some money to buy the sugar and to buy the lemons. And so at the end of the day, you have made some money and you share part of this profit with the friend that lent you money. And this is what dividends are. So basically, it is just money that you might not need for your operations, that you finally use to thank, let's say, your investor, and also to attract new investors. And so when you invest in them, companies just give you lemons and lemons so that you can start your own lemonade business and have a passive income for your whole life. Now, I'm joking. They regularly pay you with cash that you receive directly in your account. And so, for example, it means that if you invested $1,000 in a company with a yield of 4.9% like Intel, at the end of the year you will receive $49 as a bonus. And with this money you can do whatever you want, because they are not directly reinvested in the company. And so now, which are the benefits of investing in dividends? So firstly, and it is also the reason for which you are watching this video, it is that they are a consistent income. Because every year, every quarter, you receive some money from these companies you invested in forms of dividends. And that's the great advantage of dividends, because you literally have to do nothing to earn them. So for example, if you compare it to renting a house, yes, you have a tenant that will pay you, but you will always have to care about the maintenance and all the other administrative aspects of having a house. Whereas for dividends, you just can stay on your couch, relaxing, or in the beach, receiving this money for free. Secondly, you can do whatever you want with your dividends. So once you receive them, you can either choose to keep them, to use them for your normal expenses, or also to reinvest them, which is what I would also advise. Why that? Because over the time, all these dividends that you've kept and reinvested, they're going to compound and generate even more dividends. And so over the time, the power of dividends becomes extremely important. Thirdly, when you invest in dividend stocks, you don't only have the growth of the dividend, you don't only have the earnings of the dividends, because the stocks you're investing in can also grow. And this means that you're earning also from the growth of the company, of the value of the company, since the dividend will automatically increase, as also your initial investment. Then, investing in dividend stocks, it makes it very easy to diversify, because you don't need to invest in only one sector, like if you're investing in the information technology sector. And so, for example, you can have one company from the banking sector, another one from manufacturing, one from food, and another one from tech. So in the end, you can easily diversify your investment so that you reduces the risks to the minimum. And last but not least, dividend stocks have low volatility compared to other types of investments like the Standard & Poor's 500. Because over the years, you can see that dividend stocks have better performances than the other companies during recession. And this means that in situations of difficult economy, like it has been in the last years, this company will be less impacted and it will be easier to grant your stable income through dividends. So now that we know what dividend stocks are and how they work, it is really important to understand how to identify potential dividend stocks that we want to buy. But clearly first, I want really to say that you have to choose your stocks by yourself, and you have to do it only if you're capable of doing that and you know what you're doing. Otherwise, you have many different instruments like ETFs, which have also dividends, which you can find in this video, that can help you to do this type of investment. And so firstly, you have the company record. So is the company paying every year regularly their dividends, or are they always missing the payings? Because imagine, it's like the rent of a house. Would you prefer to have someone that is paying you the rent every month or someone that just pays you whenever he wants? Secondly, the dividend yield, it's extremely important because it represents how much you're going to be paid from your investment. In average, the yield is of about 4% for dividend stocks, but you can also find other companies like Altria that pay dividends of more than 8%. Then the payout ratio is extremely important because it represents the capability of a company to correctly pay their dividends. So imagine you have a company that is earning 10 and is paying a dividend of 5. It's clearly that this is 50% of their total income, so it might be difficult to grant every year, every time the same dividend. On the other side, there is a company that is earning 100 every year and they still pay the same dividend of 5. It's clearly much easier for this company to pay the dividend. And finally, what is also super important is the solidity of the company, because you always want to invest in something that you know that is gonna be there also in 5 years, in 10 years, and that can really pay you all your dividends. Because I mean, one thing is having an investment in Apple and another thing is having an investment in a startup. Even if it is promising, it's much easier to have a payment from Apple rather than from the startup. So now we have seen the basics of dividend stocks and how to identify them. So you just have to start investing. And to do that, you need an investing account. And to do it is extremely simple. You can use apps like eToro if you're in Europe and Fidelity if you're in the US. And it is super simple to open accounts with them. And otherwise, if you don't know already which app you would like to use, I've made a video here about that. So now let's go to the hot topic. So how to make $1,000 per month with dividends. So what we have to consider is the average dividend yield that you can find that an average portfolio has, okay? Which is of about 4%. And so to make $1,000 per month, in theory, you would need about $300,000 in your investing account. However, you can create your own portfolio. And so you can also have an average yield which is higher. For example, if you only have stocks of Altria, which I don't recommend in terms of having one stock, it's better if you diversify, you would only need $150,000. And yes, this looks like a large sum, but my advice is to start little by little, to invest every month, every year, a certain amount of money, and all of this will compound over the time. And so adding the dividends, adding your own investments, you will reach this amount of money quite easily. And this will grant you this $1,000 per month, which also over the time will continue to increase if you continue doing the same thing. So investing the dividends, investing your own money, and you might reach in 30 years that you have thousands and thousands of revenue every month. And that's why dividend investing is a super powerful investment strategy, which is simple and adaptable to every type of portfolio. And so if you really want to start investing, you can watch also this video where I talk about the best books to start investing. Thank you a lot for watching and see you soon.